You know what it is. It's your boy TBM Troublez, and I'm right here rocking with Chicago Street TV.
Even if I go to hell, just know that I'm the same nigga. All these bitches tell me, all these niggas do is cash. She know that my ass a dog, she know that your ass a cat. I don't stress about no bitch, nigga, you can have it back. Cut a lot of people off and ran up a couple racks. Bitch, I'm really in the streets.
Can you let the audience know what part of Chicago is it that you're from?
So I'm from the southwest side of Chicago, area called Little Village.
And for the people who ain't from Chicago, you want to let them know what is Little Village?
So Little Village is a Latino community. It's mostly Hispanics. Really family-oriented place, you know, like people going to work every day. You got the corn lady out there, the paleta man, you know, that type of environment. It's a neighborhood where there's like a lot of violence, you know, all kinds of different things go on in Little Village, you know, but it got its good parts too and its bad parts. You know, I lost a lot of friends in Little Village. A lot of people I know go to jail in Little Village, you know. I went to jail in Little Village. So it's like a pretty tough environment growing up in there.
So growing up, how was it for you in Little Village?
So growing up in Little Village, it was a pretty like tough environment. So I had like friends pass away in Little Village, friends go to jail. I have family members in Little Village. So it's a pretty tough environment, but it has its good parts and its bad parts. Just like every other city or any other hood in America, you know, got its good and its bad. Like back in the day, like we really ain't have Facebook and all this social media shit. So it was more like people outside, I would say. People playing sports, whether soccer, football, shit like that, you know. Of course, it also has its side and its parts like where, you know, a lot of gang violence and stuff like that too.
Can you let us know what it is that your family listened to when you were growing up?
So growing up, my family used to listen to a lot, like mostly all Spanish music, like I would say cumbia music, bachata, shit like that, you know. Los Temerarios, los Grupo Brindis, music like that, you know.
And for you, what type of music is it that you listened to when you were growing up?
So growing up I would say that it was really that type of music that I would listen to. And as I got older, I started getting into the rap music and like freestyle music, house music, shit like that.
You want to let us know what part of Mexico your family is from?
So, the part of Mexico my family is from is Guerrero, Mexico.
You been out there before?
Yeah, I've been out there when I was younger. I was probably like 10 years old, maybe 11. Yeah, I haven't been there recently though. I want to go. I might fuck around and go this year though.
So growing up in Little Village, you started listening more to hip hop as you got older. Do you want to let us know how it is that you got started in the rap game?
So I got started in the rap game. When I was younger, I started listening to a lot of rap music. So I just started listening to beats, to instrumentals, and I started writing and writing. Then I went to jail, and I started writing even more when I was incarcerated. I would write songs and shit, and then I would like rap them for niggas locked up. And motherfuckers started fucking with my shit. Then when I got out, I met somebody with a studio. I started recording, and then, yeah, that's really how it started. But I say I started writing music maybe when I was like 13, 14.
And you want to let us know how it is that you got the name Troublez?
So the name Troublez, actually, one of my homies gave me that name. I was maybe like 14 years old, 13 years old. And I was going to school, right? So I got kicked out of school. They arrested me in school in 8th grade.
Oh, damn.
And I got expelled. So I would always be in the neighborhood early in the morning when all the kids would be out going to school. Going to school. So my homie would see me. He like, man, what the fuck? Why you ain't in school? And I told him like, man, I got in trouble, and that's where it came from. He like, man, you always in trouble. I'm gonna call you Troubles, man.
You want to let us know what it is that the CPD had to go to school just to get you?
So it was like some petty shit. So I got arrested because I was in school. So I would go in school high all the time, and a lot of the teachers didn't like that shit. So I would walk into school high, and I wouldn't listen to none of them. So one day I think I was writing like on the desk and shit, like tagging up on the desk, and the teacher saw that shit, and he was just on some petty shit. He called the police, and they arrested me for like criminal damage to the property or some shit like that. Some petty shit.
How would you describe the school system out in the little village? Do you feel like it needs to be like fixed, or what do you think it is?
The school system, well, man, it's actually been a long time since I've been to school. But when I was going to school, I mean, it was just school, like normal school shit. I really didn't pay too much attention to that shit. And now I don't even go to school, so.
But do you feel like were the teachers like actually caring for like the students, or do you feel like they were just there for a job and really didn't like?
Nah, I did, like, the teachers that I do remember from my school, they was pretty cool. Like, you could say there was like a relationship built, where the teacher, starts being real cool with the student, because you're with each other every day for long hours of the day. So eventually y'all build a relationship. So it was that type of environment where I remember like talking to the teacher. I remember even when I fucked a female for the first time, and that shit, I was so young that I started talking about it to my friends, and that shit spread out through the whole school. The girl was there, the teacher came and talked to me about the girl, so it was that type of environment.
Okay. Can you let us know what is TBM, Trench Boy Mafia?
So Trench Boy Mafia, it originally started as an idea, right? I was trying to build something with my homies and shit. Something like it. Basically, the concept of it was some niggas from the trenches, trench boy, like trying to make it out. Like hustling, music, trying to make it with this music shit. And unfortunately, me and certain people, like, there was differences, and we didn't see eye to eye about certain shit. So they went their own way, and I went my own way. And there's no love lost or nothing like that. It's just right now, Trench Boy Mafia, that's me. I'm Trench Boy Mafia.
So now that you've been making music over the years, I also noticed that you've actually been on the radio a few times. Do you want to let us know like which stations you've been part of and what the experience was like?
Yeah, so I was actually on 92.3 and 106.7. I was actually working on some stuff, and yeah, I got an opportunity to go to the radio. I met different people in there, and them doors are still open. I'm actually working on something real, real big where I'm gonna be in the radio stations a lot more, and I'm really looking forward to that because it's something big for me. I'm looking at other avenues in this shit.
I also noticed on your Instagram that you had a photo with little Reese. You want to talk about what that experience was like, or what it is that happened at that moment?
So I met Little Reese through one of the cameramen in Little Village, Illusionary. Shout out to him, he cool people. So I was chilling at my crib, and he hit me up like, hey man, I'm finna go meet up with Little Reese. I got some shit going on with him. So I kind of just tagged along with him, and I went with him. And yeah, we going to this barber shop. It was like a low-key barber shop, and Little Reese in there getting cut up. We chopped it up, talked, he was telling me about features and shit like that.
So that's kind of different. We usually don't get a lot of artists hitting up the Hispanic artists for features and all that.
Yeah.
So why do you think we don't really have that many or barely have any Latinos in the rap game that are mainstream or big time?
To be honest, I don't know, because there's a lot of talented Latinos in this rap shit, a lot. And I don't know what it is, they probably feel like, to be honest, I don't know, they probably feel like Latino motherfuckers can't rap, or just because of the whole race shit, motherfuckers, they black and we Mexican, but it's like, we all live the same shit, just like how they live in the hood. We got a hood too, We do the same shit they do. It's just different skin color, you feel me? We in the hood too. We in the trenches too. We got a story to tell too. We got motherfuckers that grew up without shit, really out here trying to make it with this shit too, There's a lot of little young niggas coming up now too with this rap shit. And man, I see a lot of potential in a lot of niggas, man.
Have you ever been shot at?
Yeah, I've actually been shot at several times. I remember on one occasion, so there was like a couple years ago, there was this big ass like riots in Little Village, or throughout the whole city. There was like looting and shit like that. So it had kind of got to the point where it was like blacks against Mexicans type shit. So one day I was just riding around. It was like when that shit was going on at that time. So I picked one of my homies up, and I happened to see some people I know on the corner. So I park my car and I jump out and I'm talking to the people. And my homie was rolling up some weed, so I'm actually like looking at the weed, and I just hear motherfuckers shooting, and boom, I turn and look, and they're shooting at us. And actually, the person that was showing me some weed too, he's like running, and I just seen him fall, and he's the one that got shot actually. He was like behind me. So, he ends up getting in the car, take him to the hospital and shit like that.
So when that was going on, at that moment, what was going through your mind when all that was occurring?
Well, shit, to be honest, I thought I had got hit because the car was so close, so I'm like checking myself. Then I see, him on the floor. So I see his guys picking him up and they loading him up and shit.
So earlier you talked about being incarcerated, being locked up in and out several times. Do you want to let us know, if you want, what it is that caused you, at least like one story that it is that caused you to get locked up in Cook County?
Yeah, so man, I've been to Cook County several times, for a lot of different shit. So there was different things I went to jail for, but so my first time going to jail, I got arrested for a stolen car. And actually, I was in one of them bait cars. So I was chilling in my neighborhood, and I'm with a few of my guys and shit. We out there posted up, and a car comes. It was like a black Escalade, gets pulled over right in front of us. So when they get pulled over, they arrest the guy that was driving, and they like were overly aggressive with him, slam him on the car, throw him in the back seat, and drive off with him. So the car stood on. They left the car on and everything. So me and my homies, we look at the car running, and I fucking, right away, one of my guys goes to the car, turns it off, and he got the keys. And me being so thirsty, like I kind of snatched the keys off him trying to drive. So I jump in the driver's seat, he jumps in the passenger, and one of my homies was in the back. So I drive off. Soon as I drive off, I like turn the block, and the police, like the car just died out on me, and the police just rushed us. And yeah, that was my first time going in. And I got out pretty quick. I was probably in there like maybe 3 days, and then I got like house arrest. And that's a whole nother story too, cause like the person that I got arrested with, like that was one of my homies. He passed away, and then I went on house arrest to a female's house. She let me stay at her house for house arrest, so I didn't have nowhere to go at the time.
Right.
But I had house arrest, and I remembered her number because that was one of my homies' baby mama. But she was real cool, so the CO asked me like, man, you got a number we could call and ask him if you could go on house arrest. So I remembered her number, and the CO called her, and they came with the band and everything, and they, like, yeah, you know, she said you could go there. While I was on house arrest at her house, I ended up catching a case. I ended up robbing somebody in her alley that she knew. So that time I ended up going back to jail, and I didn't come out for like 3 years.
So you have like several music videos out now on YouTube and different platforms, and you generate a really good amount of views. Has there been any incidents where, you know, like the 5-0 has pulled you over or just stopped you, and just because of your music?
Yeah, like all the time. Shit, they pull me over, or if I'm out there standing talking to somebody, they'll pull up and they'll be like, hey, what's up, Troublez, you know? What's up with the music videos, or when you're dropping some new music, shit like that. So definitely I would say that a lot of the officers in the neighborhood and shit, they definitely know who I am.
Is there moments where you feel like you get targeted or like harassed by like by the CPD just because of that?
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. There's been times where like they'll just hop out and just to see what I'm doing, what I'm up to. Like, hey, what are you doing? Yo, it's the rapper. Shit like that, you know, little remarks.
Right.
But I mean, I don't pay no mind to it, shit.
Right. Your experience the first time when you went to Cook County Jail, and then like after repeatedly going there after that, what was it like?
So after a while, like I was going in there so much that it was kind of like normal. I had kind of got used to it a little bit because I was just in and out. But in the beginning, it was like, you know, that should be depressing in there. It's depressing in that bitch. It'd be dirty as fuck. But after a while, you know, you start meeting motherfuckers, you get cool. You might bump into a motherfucker you know from the world. Obviously, you gon', you know, you got your little fights here and there, shit like that. But for the most part, it's jail shit. Like every other jail, it's jail.
Well, I mean, Cook County is actually known to be one of the most toughest jails there is in the country. So it's a little different, I assume, in this one.
Yeah, it is.
What about for like, let's say somebody who's not in a gang, like let's say if it's just like a paisa or just a regular civilian, like what is the experience for them when they go in?
So, I mean, if you're going in there for like some rape shit, or depending on the type of case, you know, if motherfuckers in there for them like cases, like they kind of getting treated in there. But like paisas in there for different cases, like not that rape shit, none of that, like they pretty cool, you know. They might get, depending on where they are, they might get bullied, shit like that, you know. But usually if they're like with Latinos, you know, they cool with the Latinos, they just stick with the Latinos and shit. Motherfuckers don't really let them do nothing to them.
For any kid out there that is thinking about joining again or wanting to be in one so bad, like is there any advice that you want to give them before they try doing anything?
So like with this gang shit, like it took me a while to understand that, you know, life is really about taking care of the people you love, the people that are there for you no matter what, you know. Because like I said, I've been in jail a lot of times, and the people that were with me 100% was always my family. So that's really what life is about. There's so many other things kids could do. You could fucking go play professional sports. You could, you know, be something in life, you know. Obviously, people choose different paths in life, you know. Sometimes growing up in the street and going through this gang shit, that's a tough road. So for the most part, like, just get you some money and take care of your family. That's what it's about, man.
Do you want to let us know what was your first tattoo and at what age you got it?
So my first tattoo, I would say it was like some gang shit. I got like my finger tattooed, you know. I got some dots on my finger.
And at what age you want to say you first got it at?
I probably was like 12 years old, like 12 or 13 actually.
Will like anybody ever question you or ask you like at school or anywhere else?
Not really, cause you really couldn't see it, but yeah, I did have people ask me like what they meant, you know.
Do you want to let us know what are your top 3 favorite Mexican restaurants or taco joints in the city?
The top 3 Mexican restaurants. All right, so I would have to say Mi Tierra. That's definitely one of them. Good restaurant. I fuck with another restaurant. It's actually on Millard and 26. It's called Don Pepe's. And the third restaurant, I would have to say Los Magueyes.
Do you want to let us know if you got any like recent released projects or upcoming projects?
So I'm actually working on a few things, like a lot of big things. So I'm gonna be promoting that shit all on my social media, my Facebook, my Instagram, YouTube. It's something real big, so y'all gotta stay tuned. I'm gonna have merchandise, all that shit. So whoever fucks with me, fuck with me.
As far as projects, you're saying like a possible album, or is it like singles, music videos?
So right now I'm gonna be working on music, but I'm looking at other things to do, not just music, you feel me?
Okay.
So it's gonna be something big though, but it's definitely gonna incorporate everything. Everything's gonna be, you know, one thing type shit. So I'm gonna be promoting everything. It's gonna be something big. What's up? It's your boy Troublez. I'm right here rocking with Chicago Street TV, and I want to give a shout out to my homie Kvon from 2100. He an up and coming artist from Little Village. Man, y'all gonna start hearing his name a lot. He got some shit, man. He about to drop some music. Check it out.
What's on, man? I'm Kvon from 2100. Got some shit out right now called Freestyle with Scrappy T from Trump 25th. I know y'all heard about him. I got some more shit coming in, probably a whole album. Y'all hit me up at 21 Money Go Getter. That's on Instagram. Bro.
Baby, man, stay in tune, man. You got some shit, man.
You want to let the audience know where it is, where they could follow you on all your social media platforms?
So you can follow me on Instagram. My IG is Troublez with a Z Franklin. My Facebook is Trench Baby Troublez. And my YouTube is TBM Troublez. Go subscribe to that. I don't really got that many subscribers, but I'm trying to build my shit up.